I think what attracts so many of us to the idea of tiny houses and off-the-grid living is the concept of freedom. Being able to break out of the daily grind and do something in the world that you're truly excited about. And that is exactly what's happened with this next young family who have built a beautiful off-the-grid tiny home that's allowed them to explore their passions. Hi Chloe, how are you?
Hello, good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. Lovely to meet you. G'day Glade, how's it going, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah.
This house looks absolutely brilliant.
Well, thank you very much.
I have to ask about the solar system here. Are you powering a tiny house or the whole neighborhood?
We're powering a tiny house manufacturing business and
Right.
an air conditioner and an electric oven. And so we've basically maxed the thing out. The tiny house is not currently that mobile. It can move around the property, but we're not planning to move it further. So that's the compromise we make.
Just trying to power everything we got and more.
Yeah.
It certainly looks like it. For the size of the home, I have never seen a solar system like this before. How much power is this actually generating?
So it's a 4 kilowatt solar array. We have 36 kilowatts of lead acid battery storage, of which we use about 18. And there's a 4.5 kilowatts electronic inverter as well with it. So it's a serious system that just keeps going and going and going. And it's been in operation for about 4.5 years and we've never had any trouble.
That certainly is a very serious system. So you're powering the tiny house and then you're also powering your workshop over there.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So welders, angle grinders, whatever I need to power during the whole day, it does it. So we figure it's pretty well sized, the system, to what we need.
And this property's completely off the grid, so what are you doing for your water here?
We actually have another dwelling on the property, and it has an area of catchment as well and a 10,000 litre tank attached to it. So that has a pressure pump and it pumps water up as we turn the tap on here in the tiny house.
The property, this place is absolutely beautiful, and you actually own this land, don't you?
Yeah, we owned the land before we knew about tiny houses. And we were actually chatting to a friend who kind of mentioned, oh, well, you could build a tiny house on your property. And then we looked into it. I first poo-pooed the idea. I said, no, that sounds like a caravan. What's different? And then I looked into it and I think I saw a couple of your videos and I realised that you can really make it livable and you can make it something that you don't want to move out of in 15 minutes like you would a typical caravan. So I guess living in this house here, rather than teaching us something new, it's brought us back to what we already knew about ourselves. We kind of got a little bit caught up in real estate things and we had influence from people around us that were encouraging us to sort of continue in that direction as well, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we took a year in France when Ebony was very little and we reflected on everything that we really, really deeply wanted, and we came up with something which was much simpler, and being off the grid and producing and having contact with what we eat and the way that we live was where we arrived. After that year, it was really, really clear to us. It was just apparent. Let's just do exactly what we want to do, you know, because we're not going to get a second chance, I don't believe.
Our passion is living.
Yeah.
And this enabled us to live and to do what we really wanted to do.
And you've done a wonderful job on the build of this house. Can you talk to me about some of the materials and the style that you've built in?
The whole style was derived from hard rubbish and basically just recycled materials. We had things on the property. I ripped a window out of a shed over there. I had friends with these windows, and so we just did it. It was a means to an end. This cladding, it's all cedar plywood cladding, which came out of a house about 3 kilometres from here. It cost me $35. The doors were hard rubbish, the whole thing nearly, aside from a couple of packs of timber for the flooring, etc. It was recycled.
Yeah, the idea is to actually build our home on a block, and we just really wanted to live in this place and look at the sun and how the whole thing worked, the seasons, watch the kangaroos come through, and then really design accordingly.
Well, I'm a stonemason as well, and I have a passion, we both have a passion for stone, living in France and Italy and Switzerland, hence the stone that we have prepared from that work, which we'll put into a static house.
And how long ago did you build the tiny house?
So we built it 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, I felt pregnant with my second little one, So we had a good little start with her here.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And you're a family of 4 in here now then?
That's right.
I see you've got a really nice playground there for the kids as well?
Yes, the kids loving to be outside. They're just living outdoors. The weather is not bad weather. In any kind of season, they're just going outside.
Well, from the outside, this place looks absolutely brilliant. It is hard to believe that all of the materials come from the hard rubbish. I cannot wait to see what you've done with the inside of the place. Can we check it out?
Certainly.
Come and have a look.
Thank you very much. This place is just so cozy. With all of the timber in here, it really has that cabin feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, we both have an affinity with timber. I used to build guitars. I have done that for quite a few years. So obviously that's a bit of a passion, you know, we want to see timber.
So you used to make guitars. Is this one of yours?
Yeah, that's one of mine. I built that when I was about 19 years old. So just the other year, really.
Well, I can see where you got your absolute love of working with timber from. And the design in here is really nice. First of all, let's talk about this spectacular staircase, because this is really interesting how you've done this.
Yeah, that was just an open staircase. We figured with steel, you can actually save a lot of weight in a tiny house. It really depends on how you engineer it, but you can save a lot of weight by doing that. And also, I guess there's a bit of an open feel, as you can see through the risers.
The staircase tends sometimes to block it off, especially if you have 2. So
Yeah.
we thought we'll just leave that open and you can still sit on the couch and talk through the step to somebody else.
Absolutely, I can see why that's very important. And then it looks like you've built in a lot of storage in here as well, and I'm guessing that is all accessed via that ladder over there.
That's
right. Yeah. Well done. Not everybody gets it.
Most people ask the question, but well done. And it works.
Perfect.
It's mostly for things that we don't need often. You know, dehydrators, things that you pull out every now and then.
And then here behind me right now, we've got your lounge and seating area.
Yeah, so I've upholstered those couches, and we've just created the 2 drawers at the bottom. One I've got the clothes of the little baby one, and then the toys, because the toys always end up in the couch anyway, so I thought might as well just make a drawer and just throw them all back in.
Fantastic. And do you find the couch space to be big enough for when you're chilling out with the family?
Oh,
You always need more, don't you? Especially at
I
this
think
size.
that is probably something I do differently now when I build tiny houses, but like everything, you just make it work, and it does.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it looks like you're about the same size as me, and I think I'd probably barely fit on that couch.
Yeah. That's why you're always in the corner.
That's the king's corner, that one, and then the kids have to deal with us, so they just have to get what's left.
Good thinking, I like it. And I really like what you've done with the dining table here, because of course living in a tiny house as a family, having those family meals together is so important, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. That's exactly right. That was our original thought.
Yeah, so it was crucial. And the ability to actually have people here, we can seat 8 people, including 2 kids seated here. We have an extra table there.
We love entertaining, so we've got lots of friends and obviously got kids, and yeah, so we like to open up that possibility to keep doing that, inviting people over.
Absolutely, and it looks like you've even built additional storage into the seating here too.
That's right. That was a pretty good idea, because Glade was working as a stonemason. He wanted to sit just comfortably on a chair when he come back home. So that was the idea.
Yeah.
He didn't want just a stool. And then that's nice storage for my dirty washing, some extra jackets for the kids, and cameras and things that you might not use all the time, but hey, it works well.
And I can really tell that you love to entertain and that you love to cook, because you have put a lot of time and effort into this kitchen, haven't you?
Yeah, that was a big priority for us too. Something that was actually usable as a regular house kitchen is. And it's possible in a tiny house.
Yeah, it is. And I got Italian blood, so the kitchen is pretty important. And I like to do the whole lot myself, as much as I can. My fermentations, my bread, pickles, and you name it. So I really didn't want to get sick of having a small kitchen, and I wanted that to be right. So we have full-size bench tops, a double bin with a composting at the bottom here, a normal oven, electric, the stovetop, I liked it gas, and I have a dishwasher, like a small little dishwasher. Yeah, and double sink, just when needed.
So we've got storage in the top of the sink there as well. Storage and drying, so in Italian style, we did it that way.
Excellent. And then is that your bathroom through there?
That is.
Can we check it out?
Go and have a look.
All right. This is a nice bathroom. Composting toilet there, nice vanity.
Yeah, it has everything. It's pretty pokey, but you know, that's what you get in a tiny house.
Understandably.
Yeah.
And how do you find the bathroom works for the family?
It's absolutely perfect. We've got a raised bottom on the shower. It's a fiberglass shower so that we could actually have bathing and things like that in there as well. So it works perfectly.
And then upstairs we've got the sleeping lofts. I'm guessing one's for you and one's for the kids.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Fantastic. Should we check out the kids one first?
Absolutely.
This is really cute. You've even got the stars on the ceiling here.
Yeah, she loves it. It's pretty cozy. That's her little corner. It's got all her little books and her little lights.
So it's just the oldest kid sleeping in this loft then?
That's right, yeah. We designed the tiny house when she was with us, and then the other little one came around, so she's still with us, so she's still pretty little.
So is the plan to extend this loft so that both of them can eventually sleep in this space, or are you hoping to be in the other house by that time?
Oh, we'll see. I'm not very sure about that, but we definitely have some plan as to how we can extend this loft and just create her own little nook behind this cupboard here. Yeah, we probably will end up doing that soon enough.
Well, should we check out your sleeping loft then?
Good idea.
Oh, this is a comfy looking loft. Glade, you're already settled in up here.
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
And how do you find the sleeping loft works out for you?
Okay, well, it's my first king-size bed ever, and I'm a king-size bloke, so this is perfect. It's absolutely very, very comfortable. One fear that I had was that it was going to be too tight here and I was going to feel claustrophobic in the loft, and I think it's just worked out so naturally. I think I just have not felt that one little bit in here, and the way that the stairs work, by the time you're up here, you're horizontal anyway, so it's just really, really kind of natural. It feels good.
So is this the side that you're each normally on?
How'd you guess?
Now, because the little one is with us, it used to be the tall side of his, but the short of mine. But
I was going to say, that would make more sense.
but now that the little one's with us, just here, so
Yeah.
I have to swap with her.
And you've got lots of clothing storage up here as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've sort of have a few sets of clothes and that's about it.
And it creates a bit of a privacy as well. And for the kid, it's a bit of a safety.
Well, should we head back downstairs?
Yeah, certainly.
Now, it's been about 2.5 years since you've built this tiny house. How are you finding it?
I think it is absolutely fantastic, and it's a lot to do with the functionality of it and it being completely off the grid. We spend about $15 a month on gas bottles and that's our bill. It is so good that I decided to share that with other people and offer my skills in that area to build tiny houses, basically. Yeah, so basically the whole career change for me, I came from something which was, there was a lot of financial potential and a lot of chance to move up in the ranks, whatever that is. And it was a great job too, with great people. And I pulled the pin on it to do something that was actually totally sitting right with me internally. Also for the other advantage of being able to spend time with my family, and it was very effective because it's worked perfectly, and I have been present. I've been a present father, and I'm really proud to say that.
Now, obviously, all of the labour in this house was done by yourselves, and it sounds like you've managed to recycle and upcycle a lot of materials in the build of this home. But all of that into consideration, what was the budget for building this house?
It's really tricky to say because I guess it was built with labour and going and sourcing materials, so I don't exactly know what the overall cost was. I'd say without the solar array and everything, I might have spent 10,000.
Fantastic, a really great result for this home. Well, I can really see that this is a house that was built with a tremendous amount of skill and love for what you do. Thank you both so much for sharing it with me.
Thank you, Bryce.
Thank you for coming.
Cheers. This really is such a wonderful home. I love the use of solar power and renewable energies, but most of all, what I really love more than anything about this home is the way that it has allowed this family to really come together. It set Glade on a completely new path where he gets to do a job that he loves, but most importantly, he gets to be around his family. He gets to watch his kids grow up, and there is absolutely no dollar sign that can be put on that.